Alright, everybody. So, as you've read the title, we are doing an Inanimate Insanity tier list. Oh my goodness, it cannot stop with the ads. Alright, here's one thing though. One thing. One little thing that I actually have to say. So, you see these season 3 episodes? Not ranking them. I'm not ranking them for obvious reasons. Also, this video is probably going to get outdated because episodes 15 and or 16, if there might actually be one, do let me know if they're planning on having like up to 16 episodes or if it's going to be 15. I think it might be 16 though, because part 1, part 2. I think they might do a Brawl of the Object style too. So basically, like, a character got eliminated each challenge, but it's like all in one episode, 2 parts though this time. And another thing, I'm sorry that I'm taking forever to get on with it, but I'm also not ranking season 3 due to me wanting to rank, I want to rank it for a separate video. With that said, let's start. Episode 1. Okay, even if you dislike this one, you gotta agree, it did start out what would probably be one of the most underrated object shows to me. I don't know how, I'm sorry. Well, it's still well known about, and a lot of people say second. I honestly would kind of agree with you, except it's a way closer second than you think for me. But anyways, episode 1, Miphone's voice sounding like that guy from Total Drama was funny to me. But also, the animation looks so, I'm sorry, the animation looks mid. It's not terrible though. It's just the mouth looks so off, but it's so funny. Anyways, as for this episode, I'm putting it at decent. I liked it. It technically is more of a mixed bag. It technically is like a mixed bag in terms of the tier list. If I actually think it's decent, 7 out of 10 for me. Episode 2. Normally people would expect me to put this in okay tier or somewhere in the low range, but I gotta put it at good. I'm sorry. Balloon and being such a jerk in this one was so funny to me. I was all for it. Taco being random, also funny. And I do like how she ends up vomiting the lemons. I just wish there was a season. If there's ever a season 4, have Balloon and Taco in the same goddamn season where they have to interact. And Balloon's actually trying to redeem him, trying to, he finds out more about Taco. I feel like that should be a season that happens. If they ever plan on doing a season 4, I'm all for it. And anyways, I was getting ahead of myself there. The character interactions are by far some of the funniest in season 1. I'd say probably not in the entirety, but just in the early episodes at the very least. I'd say all the way up to episode 7. We'll get there when we get there. But as for this episode, I think it's pretty good. Episode 3. Okay, honestly, I'm kind of soft on this one. A lot of people expect me to put it in bad or the worst, but I'm putting it in okay. It does start pretty good, and it does have some pretty funny jokes. Especially the ending with Balloon, where he's like, "Hey guys, I'm finally alive!" And then Pencil just flies over there, and she just pops him. Just Balloon pops again. But anyways, I gotta also talk about the fact that baseball, like, trying to attack Taco, that was kind of funny. I also like the amazing dodging skills thing. Overall, though, the contest was boring. But I also, like, I'd say the funniest moment is Taco saying, shampoo. And announcer says, nice choice of words. That was actually kind of funny to me. Pretty good episode, or pretty okay episode overall. 6 out of 10. Episode 4. I see so many people give this a weak rating, and I don't know why. I like this one quite a lot, and it's also, like, maybe a little bit, because I like the. Okay, so I know I might be a little biased here. Actually, wait, what am I talking about? Biased? I know that I may sound a little, like, weird here, but hear me out. The contest is not that boring, actually. And I do think it's funny how they make a callback to episode 2. And I like Balloon in that episode as well, like in this one as well, because he comes off as so sarcastic, and I'm all for it. Also, I believe, well, okay, it was Paper in episode 2. Yeah, I don't remember. Freaking elimination. I don't think anybody got eliminated, though. Episode 5. This one is mid, I'm not gonna lie. Compared to all the other episodes, like, so far on this list, especially some of the later ones, I gotta be honest. We did not need this one. This one I just forget about. Mid-episode. I like the beginning, but the golf ball challenge, I just did not care at all. Episode 6. I'm sorry, did I say episode 6? I'm at episode 5.5. It's decent. The contest is pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. And how Apple debuts is actually pretty funny, as she's gonna be in the later episodes, as you can tell by the thumbnails. Yeah, I'm not apologizing for spoilers either. If you watch this video, you probably know more about Inanimate Insanity than I do. What is with the hatred for season 1, by the way? Whatever, we'll get into it, and, like, after this one gets ranked. Episode 6. War de Guacamole. Okay, I had to rewatch this one so many times, but it was so good and I was all for it. Oh yeah, I believe Knife was eliminated in the last episode. Anyways, as for this one had so many funny moments. OJ shattering and Marshmallow defying gravity. I also love how, like, the freaking fact that Team Chicken, like, just loses is funny to me. Like, after 5 episodes of winning, like, win. That's all it was. And I'm gonna be honest here. I think that this episode also has, like, a lot of stupid moments that I'm all for. And them mimicking Annoying Orange was probably the best part of this whole thing. And the contest is interesting. And the way Paintbrush falls into goddamn guacamole is funny to me. So yeah, there's that. Episode 7. Balloon gets eliminated in this episode. That's it. So, Apple's on this team. So this is where Apple's on the team now. And Balloon getting eliminated was probably one of the funniest things ever. I'm sorry. It was a funny elimination, how they just... It's like a reference to South Park in a way. Now, people would think I would say this is a poor Halloween special, but I disagree. It's under episode 6, but I'd put it in amazing. Oh, shoot, I gotta plug this thing in. Oh, zoinks, I gotta plug this thing in. Alright, episode 8. This episode is funny to me. So originally, I thought 4S sounded like Dorgan Von Strangle. Like, you know, the dude from Fairly Odd Parents. That was the funniest crap in the world to me. And then I realized it was supposed to be the Terminator, which makes this all the more funny. They have the Terminator arc going on here with MePhone 5S. I freaking loved him, and he has to be one of the most underrated Object Show villains ever. Episode 8. So as a whole... Wait, I said episode 8 twice. Anyways, as for episode 8, it's probably getting the best ranking so far. It's not in the best tier, it's still going in amazing, but it's probably the best so far. It's just really funny, and I like how they were praising Walmart. By the way, doesn't everyone start hating on Walmart later? I believe it was like, I don't know, 2017 where I started hearing people hating it. That's where I started hearing it. I'm not saying that's when people started to really hate it. Maybe it has trash products. Maybe it's just the crowds. Maybe it's the fact that there are so many stupid people. Maybe it's all three. Maybe it's all of those things that I mentioned in one. Who knows? Episode 9. This is another Walmart has everything joke. So, actually, you know what? Remember when I said episode 8 was the best? Nah, frick it. This gets the best here. This is the icing on the cake. Not only does this give us Bo's debut, but also, like, the fact that we got the chair commercial, the song at the end was pretty stupid, but it's funny. I also liked how the freaking the way Salt is freaking hugging OJ. I like how also they get a tree, and I like how Apple is so naive here that it's cute. I'm sorry. So anyways, best episode yet. Bo's debut has to be the best part of this one, along with it's by far the funniest episode of season 1 so far. Episode 10, aka when Bo joins the show. Let me be honest, Bo has to be my favorite character of Inanimate Insanity if it's not Balloon. Balloon and Bo have to be my favorite characters. I'm putting this episode in the best as well, because this episode has so many funny moments, and it mainly stars Bo. Also, this is the most lines I think Bo ever will have in an Inanimate Insanity episode. For season 1 at least. So far anyways, I don't know. But there's so many funny liners from Bo that it's funny. They're not just random, by the way. Well, okay, Bo is random, but that's not all they are. They actually had, a charming, naive personality, which actually is what made me like Bo in the first place. So anyways, as for this episode, I would rate it a 10 out of 10. Okay, sorry for that horrible joke. Anyways, episode 11, Aquatic Conflict. Now, I'm ranking this based on the fixed version. By the way, the audio glitching would not have anything to do with, like, the episode itself. But I'd say this is an amazing one as well. Bo has, like, a funny moment. I also like the world tour thing, and then the ending where Balloon is, like, the end of it is just shows Balloon crying. And I also think that Mifone, I'm sorry, I like the references to BFDI that they had in there. I also like the way that Apple tears up the freaking Marshmallow's card for no reason at all. I like how Paper wins the challenge, and finally we just have so many funny moments here as well. Okay, I know I'm going to be saying that a lot about season 1, like up to here at this point. Anyways, an amazing episode. Stellar. Episode 12. Now this goes in between episode 9 and episode 10. Bo gets a lot of funny liners here, and I also like how Marshmallow just snaps, and I like how they show how annoyed she is getting. And I also think what was funny as well is the fact, like the freaking fact that Apple tries to hit Marshmallow, and instead it hits freaking OJ. I also like how freaking Pickle says that he has loads of experience from jumping off cliffs, and he says that his eye might prevent him from doing well, and instead he does super well. I thought Bo's performance was actually amazing. Bo's dive had to be probably the best. Like, even the puking, like, even if you took in the puking with the situation, it still would have probably been the best one. Episode 13, where we have revealed, honestly, Bo's savage side. I like the ending as well. I'm putting this one in the best as well. Also, it shocked me, like severely shocked me, how they decided to keep Apple over Marshmallow. So Marshmallow's eliminated. That's right. I think it was kind of unfair though. But also, I guess they could have done a little bit more though with some of the characters. But the whole Paper arc, it's like the Dave arc, right? Except here's the thing. I believe this was out. Oh wait, did I say Dave arc? Did I seriously say Dave from Total? That dude is the worst. I meant to say Mike. Okay, seriously, I don't know where to begin. It sounds so similar, except it just makes me so distraught that it came out before. Like, it's like they predicted it entirely. Alright. Episode 14. Episode 14. I really didn't like this one. I'm putting it in bad. I'm sorry. It's just this episode really disappointed me. It had such a great start, and it did get a few funny moments, specifically with Bo and OJ. But that's just it. It's so boring otherwise. I can't even put it in an okay tier. Because at least with episodes 3 and 5, they had more funny stuff going on. And it's just the elimination that's also really kind of pathetic as well. So that scene with Party Hat was honestly the best scene of this entire episode. I just wish that the challenge was more interesting before, like I'm talking about the Me Phone Says thing. I don't know. I just really didn't like this one. I give it a 5 out of 10. It's actually really high on the bad scale, though. It's not like super low where it's almost with the worst. It's like a very high, a very high bad tier. Episode 15. Bo gets eliminated, and it is actually quite sad. But it starts the whole arc with her. So anyways, honestly, the new animation feels so much like early season 2. It may come off as off, but that's because it's the first time the animation changed in quite a while. Here's the thing, though. It didn't drastically change. Like, maybe episodes 1 and 2, and then episode 3 drastically, like maybe a little drastic. Except I don't really find that to be the case. The limbs are just different. But as for this one, I thought it was actually pretty good. Especially for such a simple and boring sounding challenge, they somehow managed to make it interesting. Also, OJ's complaining kind of annoyed me a bit. But I also do like how he just forgives Paper. As a whole, OJ has to be probably one of my favorite characters in Anime Insanity, even with the later seasons. So yeah, episode 15 is good. I give it like a high 7 out of 10. Like it's like a 7.8 or 9. Episode 16. This one was decent. I like the bit where Pickle just pops balloon with a needle. I mean a needy. No wait, I didn't say a needle. Alright, anyways. This one is pretty good, all things considered. Until I'd say there are a bit of issues. And I'm gonna say some characters, them voting for a character felt out of character. I thought that Pickle voting for Paper was really out of character. However, I wouldn't really say Paper was the last to be I wouldn't say he was the freaking that. I meant to say he sounds like the last person to be eliminated to me. Bo was just eliminated in the second to last challenge, so I'm not really that angry about her elimination. I guess people wanted to see what would happen. I guess people got curious. But anyways, as for this one, it's decent, all things considered. There are just some moments that could be a little better. And specifically, I'm saying some characters voting for another felt out of character. Episode 17. Okay, this is probably one of the better episodes. Well, even though I thought season 1 was decent, all things considered, I thought it was pretty good. So as for episode 17, I'm going to give this an amazing. And I'm actually connecting it with episode 18. Episode 18 is just basically part 2 of episode 17, and I'm putting it in the best as well. They're probably going to get topped easily. But episode 17, it's building up the stuff that's going to happen. But also, I like the whole thing that's going on, the challenges. Also, this is how you write a BFDI finale. Not whatever the frick those other 2 finales were. I'm sorry, this is how BFDI's finale should be. Not whatever the frick episodes 25 of BFDI Season 1 and episode 30 of BFB should have been. By the way, episode 30 of BFB, I called it great originally. I know that. But here's the thing. It's just the reason that episode existed. Here, episodes 17 and 18, they have perfect reasons to exist. They're the freaking finales. And it being revealed that OJ won didn't really surprise me too much. Plus, he actually deserved the win, and I actually sympathized with him. Unlike a certain somebody. And he didn't just reject characters that really honestly didn't deserve it. As well as the $1 million were actually real and not just pointless. Oh yeah, and also, I gotta say, Bo's death. Like, this is the closest season 1 had me to making me cry. But it did get a lot of funny humor out of it. So season 1 as a whole, I'd say it's pretty good. And let me just say that there were flaws. It did have some of them. But as a whole, I'd give this season an 8 out of 10. Maybe light, a little bit light. But hey, that's not really a complaint. That's actually me saying that this season is good. Especially for a first season of an object show. It's much better than BFDI's first season. Anyways, on to season 2. Episode 1. This is probably one of the weakest. This is a weak episode compared to like the pilot. So I'm going to put it in low decent. It's just weak because we get way better later on than this one. And also, decent is weak for Inanimate insanity standards, especially. But as for the challenge, it was okay. I'm talking about the first one, not the second one. The second challenge is actually decent. I'd say like the episode picks up around like once we get introduced to Toilet. I also cannot get enough of him going, Mr. Fan. Anyways, decent episode. Episode 2. This gives Marshmallow and Apple character development. I gotta put it in amazing. So look, it hasn't topped season 1 so far yet, but we'll get there. As for season 2, episode 2 is just way better than episode 1. Because the challenge is interesting. You actually get some development with Balloon, as this is where it starts. And I like how Suitcase is backing him up. That's actually pretty cute. Cheesy's corny jokes, honestly, actually elevate this one. And I also like how they save Marshmallow and how MePhone, like the lawsuits gag is funny to me. So as a whole, amazing episode. I would have put it like in the best though. The only thing holding it back though is the fact that the cherries really got mad for a pretty stupid reason. There could have been a lot of other reasons for Marshmallow to ended up in space. Episode 3. You know what? I'm putting this up here. I'm putting this up here. So see, already you can tell season 2 is massively an improvement over season 1. So episode 3, I gotta be honest, it gets a lot of funny humor and gets a lot of great humor. The way Balloon he's like, I'll save you bucks. And then he realizes continuity from episodes 1 and 4 of season 1. And Balloon's just like, oh, come on. That was funny. Anyways, I also got to talk about yin and yang splitting up. The concept is just so interesting. It's like I just love how the episode is. Oh yeah, and toilet water getting in the hole while Mayphone kicked him in there, and then he's like, "That's toilet. That's disgusting. Get out and get me some wires." That was funny to me. And I like how Soap just rushes away. That's actually funny to me. Also, do objects with limbs, like, do objects show characters really need to freaking really? Episode 4, another one that manages to surpass my expectations. I love this one. I love the other object show hosts getting together. I love the sheer fact alone that freaking like freaking Cheesy gets grated into the pizza. That was funny to me. As well as Lightbulb saying, "I want the pizza now." She just gets so funny. Like, she's so funny in this one. And I like how Balloon and Suitcase, like, they for some reason get flowers. Like, they put a flower in the goddamn pizza. That was so funny to me. And I like how Puffball Speaker Box gives it a 10 for no reason. And how Soap made the pizza taste bland as well. So she was like one of the major reasons for it. Best episode so far. Episode 5. Okay, I'm gonna put this one in between episodes 3 and 4. Episode 5 did get a lot of funny moments though. Like Knife being taught sarcasm by Nickel. I like Knife, kicking Apple in the face with a soccer ball. And then like I also like how Balloon runs off crying. And honestly, we got also a lot more funny moments here. But if I'm gonna be honest, like, I didn't mention this in episode 4, but the Trophy and Knife arc that lasted 2 episodes, it was kind of pathetic. Episode 6, best episode yet. What am I gonna tell you? So this is where we see Bo as a ghost for the first time. The Purgatory Mansion. I also like how Marshmallow and Bo interact. And I like how Bo just is represented as not even paying attention anymore. And I like how she's holding a phone even though she's a ghost. I like how, for some reason... Oh, frick, I didn't mention Doe in episode 5. God dang it. Oh yeah, Doe appears. And it just gets so many funny moments out of me. And I like Suitcase and Balloon's interactions. And I just like how Balloon is voice acted in this episode. Episode 7, Everything's A-OK. This is a weak episode compared to the rest of the episodes. You'd think I would put it in okay, but I put it decent. It's just that OJ in this one, I don't hate him. But I do like how Balloon tries to redeem himself and then he just deflates. And also I like the song here. So to be honest, like, the episode is just decent as a whole. It gets some chuckle-worthy moments, specifically the courtroom. And I do like how OJ finds out. And I like how Mephone was like, I hate you, Toilet. Also, I'm shocked that Knee Pad or Toilet were not hosting. But anyways, as for those aside, it's a decent episode. I like Paintbrush. I liked Paintbrush also trying to, calm themselves down. Why am I saying they, them? Because they're non-binary. It's revealed in season 3. Sorry for spoilers, but that's true. Oh yeah, it's revealed in episode 12 too. Sorry for spoilers. I don't care about you being spoiled. Episode 8. Okay, I actually have a little bit to say about this one. Me phone glitches out. So it's up to Me Pad and Toilet. Like they make a challenge where they find Me phone a battery. I really liked Soap here. Soap was probably one of the funniest characters throughout this episode. And the way Steve Cobbs just pops balloon just like that, it's funny to me. As a whole, like the episode as well, I also am putting it in the best, by the way, so far. I gotta be honest. This episode, also took, it could have taken so many wrong turns, but it's like those wrong turns that it could have taken actually make me appreciate the episode more. It gets so many laughable and funny moments. Me phone being fixed and not even thinking Toilet at all is freaking funny to me. And I like the little conversation that Suitcase, Baseball, and Nickel have. Also, I like how Lightbulb says, if you want to get all creepy, I know a guy. And I like Test Tube defending Fan. So wouldn't this episode or episode 6 mark the first time, this event marks when Test Tube and Fan became friends? Oh my goodness. Episode 9. Now this is actually a whole new Inanimate Insanity episode to me. It takes a different approach on an Inanimate Insanity episode. I gotta put it in amazing. Okay, I'm gonna put it in good. I would put it here. It's an 8 out of 10. I mean, it's weak compared to the others, but this is literally the only one to be in this tier. Everything else, aside from 2 episodes, which are indecent currently, they're higher up the list. This episode could have very easily, been horrible, but it isn't. I like Balloon and Suitcase's interactions, and I also like the way, Baseball talks to Suitcase. And I like how Suitcase tries to motivate Balloon. And I like the little flashback sequence to Balloon visiting Hotel OJ. Also, this is where officially we get, honestly, Balloon at his best. Well, I'd say episode 6 officially starts Balloon being at probably the best character he's ever been. And where he starts really, truly getting the development. Well, he started getting it in episode 2, to be fair, of season 2. But, yeah. Anyways, as for episode 9, though, itself, I also like Soap's elimination. This will mark a later episode, don't worry. I'll get into it. And I also like the not filler joke. This episode, I wouldn't really call it filler as much as I want to. It's certainly It's certainly good for a filler episode, though. I'll say that much. Episode 10. This is the best episode so far. Holy freak, dude. Season 2 just... Now it's topping itself. So, episode 10, I really like this one. It gets so much funny humor, and yet has so much art going on as well. It's like an object show done, like, really, really well. It's like BFB post-split done extremely way better. Like, so much better. To where it feels like it's certainly got that 2010s vibe. Well, because it was made in the 2010s. It was made in like 2016. But anyways, as for this one, 10 out of 10. I don't know what you expect. Like, Fan and Lightbulb's interactions are funny to me. I also like the ending as well. And I like how annoyed Mifone is. And I like how freaking... I also like the whole fan show that was going on. That actually marks, by the way, like, for me, that's kind of a coincidence. Looking at this one and looking at Fan's fantastic features. I would rank them for this, but I don't really have the time. Oh yeah, this is not an April Fool's Day video either. It's like Inanimate Sandy's anniversary, so that's why I'm like, working on it. Episode 11. Okay, this one is one of the closest episodes to making me cry, as this is by far one of the best episodes of it. The best episode of an object show ever. And this is reasons like this why I think season 2 of Inanimate Sandy is so criminally underrated. It's the best episode of any object show ever. Seriously, Marshmallow and Bo's song freaking rules this episode. The challenge seems like it would come off as boring, but we actually get so much character development. And the elimination, especially for being an unfair one, actually doesn't make me mad. It actually makes me instead cry or nearly cry and feel really sad, because it's actually beautifully done and actually really well executed. I like Suitcase's panic, and I like how Balloon just leaves and says thank you. He just willingly walks into the portal. And to be honest, that is by far one of the most beautiful eliminations ever. Especially because it goes the whole total drama route. Especially with the area and how it looks. This is one of the best episodes to me of Inanimate Sandy as a whole. And it is really, really, really great. It has its fair share of funny moments, but also the ending was beautiful as well, with Marshmallow and Apple. So that means Marshmallow and Apple's arc are officially done. And hey, if they decide to do a season 4, I'm all for it. Again. So, episode 12. Now, I know it may look like I'm putting it under episode 11. But I'm going to be honest. This has to be a close second. This is a very, very close second. I could not tell which one I preferred more. Speak. Fuck. But anyways, as for this one, I freaking loved this one. So, here's what I gotta say about this one. Lightbulb and Test Tube's friendship here actually really, really works. Test Tube being the angry one, while Lightbulb was the naive one. That works in the episode's favor. It would normally annoy the heck out of me, especially with an object show that had so much arc. But this one is so beautiful. It has such a nice scene, and the challenge sounds boring, but we don't get much focus on it. But it focuses mainly on Lightbulb and Test Tube, which I will admit, they're not my favorite characters ever. But honestly, I'd say they're more next to Bow and Balloon for me, along with Suitcase. So I'm not gonna lie, she did have a lot of funny moments and great moments as well until Balloon left. But as for this one, honestly, it has probably some of the best themes to it, and I'm especially all for time travel. And it's just the fact that this episode has the guts to take so many risks. It could have been so bad, and instead it completely takes a 180 turn, which makes the episode actually all better. It's an amazing episode overall. And also, the illumination, again, probably has to be one of the most beautiful. I'd say the music for that one came closest to making me cry. With watching an object show ever. Episode 13. To be quite honest, it's not as good as episodes 11 and 12, but it's still really stellar. Now, this is actually one of the most unsettling Inanimate Insanity episodes to ever exist. There's tension that builds up. There's a lot that's building up. It has some really dark scenes with Mifon's past. And you know what? I love it. I don't know how to describe this episode other than unsettling, but amazing at the same time. And Fan's elimination was by far one of the saddest eliminations ever, along with Mifon finally kicking out Toilet and snapping at him. It was pretty sad. And as for Toilet, honestly, pretty nice dude. I miss when he went Mr. Fan. That was honestly everyone give Mr. Phones in the comments. Type Mr. Phone in the comments, please. One Mr. Phone in the comments equals prayer for Toilet. You will be missed. Episode 14, the final episode on this list. To end it off, I actually gotta say this one honestly is on par with episode 13. Episode 14, Microphone's elimination is unfair, but it doesn't tick me off. It doesn't make me angry. It doesn't make me, it doesn't make me angry or ticked off or annoyed at all. It actually had a reason to be the way it was. And I get that everyone voted for Test Tube, but also Microphone's elimination. I'm not saying she deserved it. She really didn't. It's just the fact that they took it the way they did is amazing. Now, I would rank the Inanimate Insanity Plays videos, but instead I actually am going to talk about them one by one in a separate video, along with Season 3. And as for Season 2, I know there's going to be an episode 15 and or 16 coming out, if not more than that. I'd say probably two more than that, or maybe one more. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think. And Season 2 being back is actually one of the best things to ever come in Inanimate Insanity. And I do hope that if they switch it back to normal, and by that I mean Season 2 normal, I actually am all for it, because that's gonna actually prove my point that with each island, then that means the animation will change. So we'll rank Season 3 in another video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. It has been fun. So as for season 2, I give this season a 10 out of 10. Even with some of the issues I had with it, which were only with the beginning 2 or 3 episodes. Which, by the way, were still like, episode 1 got a decent, and episode 2 got an amazing. Like, decent or good or weak for season 2. There are no bad ones here to me. So as a whole, season 2 of Inanimate Insanity, 10 out of 10 for me. And do let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm not ranking season 3 yet for obvious reasons. And happy birthday to Inanimate Insanity. See you guys later.